I don't know who I think I am. I read 5 books per month, and yet I keep on making TBRs with over 15 books on them. Hello lovely book dragons, and welcome back to such an exciting video. Today I'm doing my April TBR, but April TBR means Shardathon TBR. Shardathon TBR. I'm so excited. As you can clearly tell, I have so much energy. I'm so excited. Okay, if you don't know what Shardathon is, I will leave my announcement video up here in the cards. It is a Cosmere-inspired readathon. This is round 3, and we're basing ourselves on Nalthis, the Warbreaker planet. And I am co-hosting this readathon with the lovely Sophia from Sophia's Thoughts, Angela from Literature Science Alliance, and Jessi over at The Bookish Mom. These 3 ladies are phenomenal. If you're not following them, I will leave the channels linked down below. Please, please, please go subscribe to them and show them your love, because they deserve it a lot. So in April, we are co-hosting the Shardathon, and there are 4 teams, each for one of us. But, you know, I am an overachiever, and I'm gonna try and accomplish every single prompt for Shardathon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the books for my Shardathon TBR first, and then other books that I would love to get to. Like I said, I don't know who I think I am. I read like 5 books. If everything goes well, I read 6 books in a month, and now I'm like, 15 books, let's do it. Apparently I think I can do it. Let's see if I can. I do have 1 week off, and usually when I have a week off, I read a lot. So let's see what I can do. Let's see it. I'm going to be vlogging the whole experience, the whole Shardathon. You're going to be getting like, I'm so excited. All right, I have my little bullet journal here with the prompts, with everything. So I am the host for Team Vasher. So we're going to start with Team Vasher and then make our way through the prompts like that. The first prompt for Team Vasher is Awakening, and that is an action-packed book. For that, I'm picking Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. I am so excited for this. I read the first couple of chapters of this back when Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews was starting his channel Read Along for the Greycoats, and I was reading it on Kindle, and then I thought, no, I think I'm gonna love this so much that I want to own my physical copy to annotate it. And this is a rather short book for a fantasy novel. It's just over 300 pages, and this one is like, I'm reading this one because, of course, I've wanted to read it ever since, but also because of Alan over at the Library of Alexandria. He always says, no one reads Greycoats, and Klaus, I think, also really loves Greycoats, so I'm going to be reading it because of him. I'm so excited. This is like a swashbuckling fantasy adventure. I think it's going to be very action-packed, and I'm so excited to get to this. By the way, if you're new here, I read primarily fantasy, and I don't like to know a lot about the books that I read, so I can very rarely give you a synopsis for the books I'm reading, but I do leave every single Goodreads page of every book I mention in the description of my video so that you can go and read the synopsis if you're interested. But this is the first book. It's going to come up again for a few other prompts, but let's go through the prompts one by one, and then I'll bring it back when it gets to it. The next prompt is Nightblood, a book with your favorite trope, and this one is difficult because I don't know enough about my books to know what tropes are in what book. Some of my favorite tropes are the animal companion trope, a prophecy trope, and the found family trope. So there's one book on my TBR that I know for sure has these things, and there's actually 2. There's actually 2 that I know have these, so I can use either or for this prompt. So let's just show you one of them. I've been saying for months that I'm going to be read Queen of Shadows, and I still haven't. And this one has it has a little bit of everything. It has the found family trope, it has the animal companion trope, it has a lot of tropes, and I'm dying to reread this. After reading A Court of Silver Flames, I wanted to read Moussa J. Mass, and then I didn't, but I actually have to read this because I'm doing a separate vlog for this, that is going to come out later in the month, and so I have no excuse. I actually have to read this month. It's like a top priority. So, Queen of Shadows. The next prompt is Swordsmanship, a short book. That's the part of the prompt I'm going with. It can also be a fast-paced book, but since I don't know that ahead of time, I'm going to go with a short book, and I am going to be reading Breach of Peace by Danielle Green, which is coming out at the end of the month of March. I pre-ordered it. Hopefully it gets here on time. If not, I will be reading A Dead Djinn in Cairo, which I was supposed to read last month, but I didn't get to. These 2 are very short, so gonna be reading those. The next prompt is Mysterious. Read a mystery or a thriller, and I kind of bended this prompt a little bit because I'm going to be reading Senlin Ascends, which I mentioned in my spring TBR, which I will leave up here in the cards. This book I'm also reading because of Library of Alexandria, and Ola is reading it at the moment, and she said, hey, message me when you're reading it, so I'm super excited to be discussing this with Ola and with other people who are reading Senlin. Luke just recently read Senlin and loved it. Ryan, Seeking Stories, is reading and loving it. Like, so many people who are loving Senlin, and I just want to read Senlin. And the reason I picked this one is because I think it's mysterious. I've heard that it's weird and mysterious and different, and it's also not too long. I'm super excited to get to this on my spring TBR. Definitely going to be knocking this one out. So excited, guys. I'm so excited to read Sunlit, finally. And then we go to Light Songs prompt, because that is the next prompt in Vashers, is to read something from Light Songs prompt. The first prompt is returned, reread a favorite or give a book a second chance. I'm going for reread a favorite, and I'm going to be reading The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is April's book pick for Cosmere Unbounded. I will leave my video announcement up here of Cosmere Unbounded, which is a read along where we read all of Brandon Sanderson's works until 2023, so you have a lot of time to join us. We read The Final Empire, which was the first book for this read along, last month in March, and we're reading this one in April. I'm super excited. This is like one of my favorite series. This is the first time I'm actually going to reread The Well of Ascension. I read The Final Empire 4 times, and this is only the second time I'm going to read this. I'm so excited. I got the audiobook this time because I loved reading The Final Empire on audio, and I love these books so much. This one could also count for the found family trope, which I love, so I could use this one for that, and I can also use it for something else later, which we'll see. But yes, reread a favorite for sure. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited. The next prompt is God of Bravery. Read a book with gods in it, or red or yellow on the cover. I don't know if any of these books have gods technically in them, so I just went with Trader's Way because it has red, and here it's like yellowish, goldish on the cover, so it counts. The next prompt is Never Asked for This. Read a book with a reluctant hero or protagonist. The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. And Secret Cinnamon Roll, a book with the mentor or the found family trope. The Will of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, which is coincidentally also one of my favorite tropes, so I'm mishing those together, unless one of these other ones has animal companions or prophecy in it, but... And then the next prompt is to read something from Series List, so let's go on over to Series List. The Youngest Sibling, a new to me book, The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. This is one of the most recent books that made it to my house. Of course, I could also use Breach of Peace for this if I don't get to it, because Breach of Peace is literally not even here yet at the moment of filming this, so I could use that and give myself an easy way out, but ideally I would like to read Ninth Reign by Jen Williams, because my lovely friend Ali over at Kisty Reads is hosting a buddy read for this on Shelf Space in the month of April, and I bought the whole trilogy. I want to read it with her. This one sounds extremely weird and interesting, and I don't know anything about it, but I definitely, after seeing Elle over at Elliot Brooks rave about this book, I just want to read this. I hope I get to it in the month of April. Oh, I really hope so. Spontaneous mood read. I will probably just either pick something from these books or just pick something else in the month of April as I fancy it, to be honest. And actually, I'm going to combine this with another prompt, which is also a series prompt in Sousa Braun, a book picked by someone else. I'm going to actually have Sophia with Sophia's Thoughts pick a book for me from a bunch of books that I would be in the mood to read. So we'll see. If I really just want to read these books, I will then pick one for her to read. But those two prompts I'm combining, and I will pick later on. Next prompt is Royal Lux. Read a book with multiple colors on the cover, and I'm also going to be using Reach of Peace for this one because it has a lot of colors. And actually, I was looking, most of these books have like 1 or 2 colors, so definitely picking that one for this. And the last prompt for Team Siri is read something from Team Vivenna's list. So let's go and look at Vivenna's prompts. Eldest Sibling, read a classic. To be honest, I kind of bended this one again. This is very loose. You can bend as much as you want. And I'm going to pick Queen of Shadows for this because this is a YA classic on BookTube. The next prompt is Reserved, a book you've been meaning to read for ages. I'm going to pick The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith for this. This is also on my spring TBR. This is a book that I actually started like almost a year ago on the channel, and I was really liking it, and I've been meaning to read it for like over a year, and I'm super excited to get to this one. And since I actually want to get through my spring TBR this time, I put this one on the list. I am really excited for this one. Really excited for this one. Sounds so good. Like books that are not written, the characters come to life or something. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but I'm really excited for this one. The next one is Royal Lux, a book with 1 color on the cover. And like I said, most of these books are 1 color covers. If you don't count black and white, because technically they're not colors, it only has blue. Basically beige and red, and you know, like red. This one is like all shades of blue, but because I have another very important, and I'm actually going to combine this one with the next one, which is Expectation, a book that you're highly anticipating. I'm highly anticipating all of these books, of course, but a book that I've been meaning to read for ages counts for that as well. I think it's going to have a lot of tropes that I like. It is basically 1 color on the cover, and I've been meaning to read it for ages, and all of that thing. This one could knock out so many prompts in and of itself, and that is Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks. I am so excited to get to this. I actually bought by mistake the ARC, and then I got the hardcover, and I can't wait to get to this. This was written by Elliot Brooks, the booktuber. She's like my favorite booktuber to watch. I love her channel so much, and she wrote this book, and I want to read it. And I'm not counting white and black as a color, so purple, So it has one color on the cover pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this one. I've been highly anticipating this one. And if you want to buddy read this with me, I am hosting the buddy read for this one on Shelf Space this month. So another Shelf Space buddy read. I am highly anticipating this one. I am so excited to talk with you guys about it on Shelf Space. So I hope some of you are going to be joining me with this. I'm so excited. I know some of you have read it because I mentioned this one also in my spring TBR, and I got a few comments saying, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. It's so fast paced, it reads so quickly. All I know is it's political fantasy, so I wouldn't have assumed that it's a fast paced book. But you know what? I'm just excited to get to this. So excited to get to this. So that's my Shardathon TBR. And you think this is a lot of books. These are a lot of big books. I probably won't even be reading all of these, but I have a few more. I would love to get to. 2 books I need to read for the same vlog that I'm going to be reading Queen of Shadows for, which you will see. It's going to be Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. This is a poetry collection, and I'm really happy. I'm being very graceful with myself for picking something short and something completely out of my comfort zone, because I don't read poetry like ever. So I'm really excited to get to this one. And I'm going to be reading Space Between Worlds, which is a sci-fi, and I also almost never read sci-fi, and I'm really excited for this one as well. So I'm going to be reading those 2. I completely forgot to mention the Shardathon book club pick, which is Perfect State by Brandon Sanderson, which will give you Nightblood status. So I'm definitely going to be reading that one. It's a short story, a novella from Brandon Sanderson. So again, being very graceful, going to be reading that one. I'm also hoping to get to The Flat Share. I've been meaning to get a little bit more into romance, and I would like to read that one. I have the audiobook, so probably going to be doing that. And I also would really like to read From Blood and Ash. So this is a book that my friends Abby, Vish, and now also Ali have read and really enjoyed, and they keep on telling me, read it. So I think I'm going to try to read that one. I will see if it fits any Shardathon prompts, however I fit in these books, but I really hope to get to that one. I got the audiobook for it. I hope it's good. I hope I like the audiobook. It doesn't matter. I'm just so excited to read some fantasy romance again after reading Sarah J Maas. I think, and you know, with the spring coming, who doesn't want a bit of romance? And the final book on this TBR, like, oh, this is insane. This is so insane. I'm never gonna get to these, but it doesn't matter. The final book, and this one is one that I really want to prioritize, is Winds of Strife. I love the author. We've been talking a lot on the Shelf published in Discord. I'm actually going to be interviewing him for a post that I'm writing for the fantasy review. I just, like, he helped me with my own writing, and I'm so excited to be reading his book. And his book also counts for Shardathon, I'm sure, because the cover is mainly blue, so I could use it for that. I don't know, there were some tropes that he mentioned to me that were really interesting, so I could use it for that. I'm going to be reading his book because it is the Shelf published in book for the month of April, and I'm so excited for it. So I'm definitely going to be reading his book. I just hope that I can read all of these things. I think because I'm going to be vlogging Shardathon, I hope that it will make me read more, because I don't want to come on here and be like, I haven't read anything. So I'm going to be starting vlogging on April 1st. Until April 30th, and hopefully I will make it through this TBR. Honestly, if I read 10 books, I will be super happy. Why do I do this? Why am I not realistic? Why don't I do 5 book TBRs and like, okay, that's what I'm gonna read, and if there's anything else, then I'll just read those. No, you know why? I do this because I want to give you the opportunity to tell me, hey, I also want to read that. Let's buddy read it. That's why I do this. And because then you see what I'm maybe planning on picking up. I don't know why I do this, because I'm crazy. That's probably the right answer. And because I'm overly ambitious and I love books and I wish I could just read all the time and read fast. I don't know. I'm having too much energy now. I'm gonna let you go. Let me know in the comments down below what you're gonna be reading in the month of April. Are you gonna be reading any of these? Do you want to buddy read any of them? If you want to comment but don't want to comment any of this, just leave a book emoji in the comments of this video. And I wish you happy reading. I hope you are more sane than me when making a TBR. And I will see you very soon with another video. Bye guys.